Incredible morning, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I need to open this because I need to be able to see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. All right. So, yesterday, it got a little exciting. Oh, wait a minute. No, stay on the page. In my, discussing templates, right? And creating them and why I personally typically don't like make and sell templates. And so I said today we'll come back a little bit calmer. We'll really focus on the template and me showing the design part of it. But yeah, it's a you had to be there moment, or you can always go back and watch it and be there again for 4 hours. But it still was a great time. It was a lot of information, it was a lot of emotion, a lot of passion as I went through talking about templates and why I typically don't. And it became a whole therapy session that I did not know that I needed. And it was therapy. Okay. But we are going to talk about actual like templates. We're going to look at, when it comes to creating it, what does it mean, when you're either purchasing a template or making a template. And we're going to, this is one of the ones that started it all, was when I posted this over on Facebook, the Senior Life magazine, cover that I designed in Silhouette Studio. So we're going to work it out. How y'all doing this morning? Incredible morning. Go ahead, drop your city and state. Let me know where you're watching from. Drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know who's actually watching and on with me and who is ready to learn or talk about and discuss. So I'm not going to say learn, right? You're going to learn some things in this within going through this, but I want it to really just be a time to chat, ask questions. Whatever questions you have when it comes to these programs and creating templates, and what your thought process is on what a template is, what its benefit is. So I just want this to, I guess it'll be kind of like an interactive podcast, or let's just chat about it, let's talk about it as I work, and I help you guys. All right. So I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365. We are the parent company of the amazing product line. We're the home of the amazing product line. Honestly speaking, we carry the best sublimation ink and paper that will allow you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. We also have pigment ink. We have non-staining, non-marking heat tape. We have empty cartridges, chip resetters for the old school workforce. We have templates and files over here as well. So you can definitely check those out. If you don't know, if you are great, if the designing part is your passion, and you're kind of frustrated about trying to always get the sales or make the actual physical products, you can make money off of the actual designs and the designs that you create and creating digital files. And then there's ways to take that, and depending on what that digital file is, you can have it published. And Amazon has some. I was like, there's money to be made in this creative space. So we do offer some digital files and things like that on the website. Most of the things that I design, I don't really put them out. It's like select few. I'm just weird like that, but it's okay. You guys can, that's what your desire is. My desire and my vision isn't necessarily to create templates. It's to teach people how to make them. So I typically don't put out a lot of them. And we also have an academy. So 365 Creative Academy is where I teach you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of classes. You can, purchase those on our website as well, shop.hsink365. Y'all see how that branding works? And that's one of the reasons why I can kind of have these things all on the same website. I get asked about that a lot when it comes to your work, when it comes to like your websites and what should be together and what shouldn't. So since my entire business is about helping other business owners, my products aid other business owners. My classes aid other creative business owners. My files aid other business owners. So the same audience is coming to this particular site. So I don't necessarily have to have like them completely separated. My classes are hosted on an actual like learning platform, but I can advertise them, I can post them, I can list them on the same website as my products. Okay. So it doesn't work for everyone and everything, but it can work in certain instances. And in this case, it really does work. Now, if you were someone that wasn't like you were selling physical products to your clients, I wouldn't necessarily mix my physical products and my templates or my classes because those are two totally different audiences. So y'all know I'm always having to kind of go into teacher mode and give a little insight on certain things. So hopefully you guys didn't mind that little sidebar, okay? While I was doing that, I was over here trying to share stuff out. So make sure that you guys hit that like button, hit that share button as well. So what do you guys consider to be templates? What do you feel like are the advantages and disadvantages of templates? How do you use templates in what you do? Is there anyone that use templates? Do you use templates heavily? Is it kind of just a spur of the moment type? If I need it really fast, how do you guys use your templates and what do you see as the pros and cons of using them? All right. So while you guys go ahead and write that out, I am going to continue sharing. So if you're watching the playback of this, there is about to be a moment of silence. You might hear my keyboard going, but we're going to come back. I'm just giving those who are live time to, formulate their responses and put them in. And if you're watching this as the replay, don't feel like you are left out in all of the fun and interactiveness. Go ahead, write it in the comments as well because it still pops up and I can respond to those comments, okay? Oh, come on. It's quite a few of you watching. Let me see those likes go up. Go ahead, click on that X to take down um the live chat and make sure that you guys give the video a thumbs up. All right. I just found the crafting world. I have previous experience using different software. So I will say, so it's interesting that you say the craft. I am kind of like deep into the crafting world because I started off like sharing my crafts when I was just a stay-at-home mom to a lovely 3-year-old who is now about to be 12. But now my business is about kind of shifting a little bit. I do still have, several people who are crafters who follow me, but I will say I feel like the majority of my audience now is more so those who are aspiring to turn it into a business and monetize it, whether it's monetizing it just for pocket change, like a little something extra on the side or a full-time income. You won't often hear me say the word crafting. So I'm looking into the design part of it. Okay. Where are you watching from? All right. So let's. All right. Okay, let's see. You're in Cali. Well, welcome. I am located in sunny South Florida in the Miami Gardens area. So I am clear on the other side of the country. All right, you have to give me a minute. I see some of your comments over here. I'm coming back to them. I'm just trying to share them out. So that screen for me is blocked right now, but I can see my TikTok one. So give me a second. I see every time I click off, I see your comments. So just give me a moment and we will get right into this. Oh no. All right. All shared out from my end. Ooh, you're from the Bay Area. I have a good friend, Gucci Crafts. That's where she's from, and she always is like that. From the Bay Area. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying over here. Incredible morning, incredible morning. Hello, we're almost actually no, we are officially for the East Coast in incredible afternoon. All right, so you were very passionate yesterday. That's that's it. That's all, sis. Thank you. Hey, Stanley, how are you doing? It's always great to see the guys over here. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible afternoon, incredible morning, depending on where you are. So, and for Texas, it's still morning for you guys. Morning, morning, Ohio. Thank you for joining Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I. Um, like you said, something may pull that passion out again. No, I'm gonna stay calm today. Y'all not gonna do that to me today. Ish happens of Ohio. What's crack a lacking? From Virginia. Hello, John. Oh, another guy. Thank you. I like it when the gentlemen are on. I'm trying to really grow my reach to guys as well. Like I don't just teach ladies. There are some people where like in their content and things like that, they'll say like ladies. I am definitely not that person. I am an equal opportunity, equal opportunity instructor and professor. We welcome everybody. Oklahoma. Thank you for those peacocks. Y'all, go ahead and drop those peacocks. I'm actually working on senior year right now. Incredible morning. Hello, 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 everyone. Pro, to avoid duplicating work. So making a template would avoid you duplicating work. As a pro, I use templates for easy access. Okay. Cons would be buying them when you can make them yourself. Okay. I really use them when I do. It's to draw inspiration or use an element of that template to make the work my own. That's a great way to look at that. Morning. Um, I don't use them often, but when I do, there may be a detail I might want to use or for inspiration. Oh, I know. I got it, Israeli. Yeah, don't worry about it. I read it. I'm one of the people like I can read through the lines. I can read the context clues. Does the professor screen looks blurry to anyone else? I have changed my viewing quality. Oh no, hold on. Let me see. Let me go over here. Let's see. I gotta wait for it to catch up to see if it looks blurry. Hold on. It's not too bad on my end. Yeah, not too bad on my end. So someone else says it's clear on their end. It was clear when she was in frame for me, just not her screen. Okay. I use templates sometimes in my designs, but most of the time I use them for inspiration. When I first started, I used to buy templates. I am one of those people that brought SVGs because they were on sale. I ended up with a lot of SVGs I never used, but now I take some of those same SVGs and add my own flair to it, or take certain things from them and design around them. Okay. It's still morning for Louisiana. Yeah, as I said, certain places still morning. I use the templates as a base or starting point, sometimes for certain projects. Okay, so for me, and I'm not sure if you guys caught, although we're working on this, I'm going to go back. I'm going to kind of take a step back from this. We're going to really focus on this particular file right here, but it seems like a lot of you guys are thinking of templates as completed designs, or like ones where you're just going to go in there and simply change out the content that's there. So as like Chandra was saying, like there, and I can't think of who the person was because it was just saying Facebook user. It's more like placeholders, right? Where you want to have this information, and let's say if it says interview with, you want to be able to type out the name, change it from Jordan to Shakia, change it from Jordan to Brenda, change it from Jordan to LaShandra, and be able to adjust the colors and things like that. That is, a template as well. But I want you guys to also think about the fact that templates are also just having that shape where there's no design element there. So it's okay to purchase templates. It just depends on what you consider to be a template. For me, a lot of the times, I don't necessarily see like full on designs where it has all of the elements as a template. Like it's just an edible file. Like, I don't know. I guess that's just kind of like, it's just weird sometimes. I use the terminology. I'm not going to lie. I use the terminology because in business, I have to use those keywords. I know for me, I'm doing my best to kind of change the thought process, or feel like I'm trying to change the world, change the culture, change the verbiage of how people refer to what they do creatively, and not just say craft, because that has a world of its own. Like, and that's kind of like the hobbyist and things like that. And craft can be, honing your craft and what it is that you do, your skills. But it's just about the words that you use to describe it and how you think of it. So I know for me, because I don't put a lot of keywords such as craft business, crafting for profit, crafts, it limits, I guess you can say, my reach, because there's so many people who are crafting, but then they say they want to craft for business. And for me, again, this is just me. I am not speaking for everyone in general, and it doesn't have to be how you perceive it. But for me, it's an oxymoron. Like, I'm not saying that you can't make money from crafts, but unless you are like a craft store like Michael's and it has these elements that you can use for these craft projects, for me, just saying like business, it's just a little, I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't work for me personally. So I don't really use that verbiage a lot when I am, marketing, when I am doing videos, because I have grown an audience that, to me, you guys have told me that you want to run a business. What you did before was crafting. What you want to do now is run a business. So I try to stay on brand, whether, some people kind of come over to that thinking, if they, it may take them a little minute to adopt that mindset. I just want to keep pushing it and keep pushing and keep pushing that narrative that you have to change your mindset from it being just something that you did for leisure. When you were doing it for leisure, and look, Lord Jesus, I said I wasn't going to preach, or I wasn't going to do this, and look, here I am. Lord, have mercy. I can't help myself. I don't know how to not be me. So, okay, give me 3 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. I promise. We're going to talk about design. I promise, I promise, I promise, I promise, I promise. We're going to do design. But when you're doing it for leisure, you're not really thinking about how much money, like you do it with the expectation and the intention that you are spending out money. You're taking that from your personal finances. You're going to create it. It can be for therapy. It can be for your anxiety. It can be, just your love. Like it's just something that you love to do, whether you make money or not. That is crafting. You don't do it with an expectation to receive anything back. A lot of the times people craft to be able to gift it to someone, just to donate it. And it's just giving, you're never looking for a return back. But in a business, you are looking for some sort of return. Even as a nonprofit, in order for them to be effective, they have to make money. They have to see a return to be able to do those charitable things. So as a business, it is totally separate than crafting. In a business, you have to separate personal from your business. So that's that. See, I didn't even take 2 minutes. Actually, I probably did take exactly 2 minutes. So I digress. We're going to move on. But anywho, I'm going to come to a few templates here just to bring those up. Okay, wait, I got up. Wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, we're going to come over here and we're going to... Ooh, these were some good ones, but all right. So I'm going to bring up like this one. I'm going to bring wait. Okay, I'm going to open up this one. I'm going to open up this one. I'm going to open up. Ooh, this one's a good one. Ooh, and I had to fix that when I realized I was using that word incorrectly. Ooh, let's open up this one. Let's open up. I can't open up too many. Silhouette Studio will shut down on me. All right. And since we're talking about senior stuff, where is... I'm going to open up one more. I'm going to go back over here and open up this. Y'all got quiet on me. Oh, Lord. Y'all got quiet on me. I think I scared y'all away going into teaching mode. So how do you try to move past the crafting phase of it all? It is something that is going to take time. Like it really is going to take time. You have to create a plan of action. You also have to be okay with not taking everything that you have crafted and that you have DIY'd over to business, especially when you are by yourself. If you want to do everything and be everything to everyone, you will have to have not just you. Your company will then have to have a team. So switching over to the business side and moving from the crafting phase of it, it is maybe taking something that you really, really, really are great at. I'm not going to say that you love to do. I think that is probably the worst thing that you can do, is take something that you absolutely love to do, and without having a strong business mindset, make that a business. As it relates to crafting, and I'm going to tell you why. When you love to do it, because you love to do it, should I say, when you are requested to do it, when you are asked to do it, even if someone wants to pay you to do it, you will tend to go overboard with it and give them way more than what they actually paid for or ordered. Because you love to do it, you're going to do it without proper compensation, because for you it's the, oh, but I love to do this, it's okay. So I would strongly suggest, like, you might be like really creative in something, and something that's going to challenge you, and you're kind of like, man, look, I need to get paid to do this because this ain't the life. Like, that is really where you should start, because then you're not going to waver on what you know the value and the price to be just to give it to someone. All right. Okay. Why are my stoves not coming up? Hold on. Okay. I am so glad I found you, because you drop a lot of gems and make us look at silhouette the ways others don't. You help learn a program that is free to use without the monthly fee and membership. Oh, thank you for that. Okay, did it open? I don't know if it opened or not. Okay. So before we get back to the senior one, I want to kind of, okay. So this technically is a template. It is giving you the exact outline of something, and it is a blank canvas. But rather than have just a simple box, you can measure your stole, and it will be, let's how big is this one? So let's say your stole is about 30 inches. You add a little, pad a little bit to it. So you're going to make a box, and you will have several people that will teach you to just make a box. Okay. And when you do that, you're going to have areas where it's never going to be on the final substrate, right? So if you did this box and you weren't thinking about the fact that there was a V at the bottom, when you go to put your design in here, you may have something of importance that's going to get cut off. Now, you can do it this way, but you have to, when you're designing this way, you have to consciously think about the fact that I want to, there is a V here. So I want my design to be up here to make sure that it's not going to be, in the wrong spot. So when you get up to areas like this, if it's just a box, you have to be careful and mindful about where you put things at. If you're truly wanting it to be centered, just putting it as a box, okay, where do I kind of put this at? You have, when you're putting your stole down, you have all this extra space, and then it's like a weird shape to it. So you can't see through the stole. So how do you really know where that design is? How do you really know that it is lined up where, in your mind, where you designed it and you wanted it to be centered, you wanted it to be in this specific spot? If you can't see through it, how do you really know that? But then when you have a template that is made, whether you purchase it or you make it yourself, where it is basically the exact size, it's an exact replica of it. So as you are designing, you know where it's going to go. You end up putting a small bleed on it. And when you have that bleed, you put your stole down. As long as that spacing is even around it, you know that your design is going to be, darn near spot on as far as where you wanted it. So the template does not have to be a full-on design. It can be the pattern. Like someone said, like when you're sewing, it can just be a pattern. So this is a template. I'm not putting any elements in it. It's a blank canvas for you to design yourself. This is a template. You have the ability to make these whatever colors you want. When it comes to this part here, I put in several different ways that the composition part can be. So you can change out the colors on this and you can customize the colors. So this is giving you the size of different composition. Well, this one was for a tumbler, to make a composition notebook tumbler, but you can. So although this was for a tumbler, you can take this and create an actual composition notebook. Like if you wanted to put a different design, you want to put, and you can go into the stores, you may not find a composition notebook that's going to be about autism awareness. My son has epilepsy, so maybe I wanted a composition book that is epilepsy. Heck, it would be great for some of these companies, like people love Gracie's Corner and things like that. Like they created a custom composition notebook cover that their children would love, that you can get your kids to where they're going to like practicing in their Gracie's Corner composition notebook. If you have a strong message, if you want to create these with organizations on them, you are able to do it, and you're able to customize this notebook for someone. It is an item that they actually need, they'll probably use something they'll come back for, but they can't just go into the store. No store sells that. So you become that resource, that outlet, that business that they can purchase these personalized and customized items from. But this will eliminate you having to do these shapes. You have to still change the color. You're still going to have to create some sort of design here or change the colors, but this is a form of a template. This is a template. So for me, I end up doing this one to where for for all the days of the week and where day 1, day 2, like how all of them can go. This is a calendar template, so it makes it easier for you to where you're able to pull this into however you're going to design it, but the boxes are already there for you, the numbers are already there for you, and it's where you don't have to go in and try and remember, move them around yourself, to where if this month the first started on a Saturday, or then the next month it started on a Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. This is a template. By the way, it's available in the template vault. You can go over to shop.hsink365.com to get access to the template vault. So it's no design here. You have to change the colors. And if you want this to have, again, autism awareness, you want it to be something for epilepsy. If you want it to be where it's for kids, it's a calendar, but at the top, maybe you are teaching, every month it's a different focus for the kids, especially younger kids. Maybe in January, they're focused on just learning like ABC. You want to break all of the alphabet up to where it's a trace pad. I'm giving y'all too many business ideas. If you don't know, Shakia is the best idea and brand strategist out there. I have helped so many people develop some really, really great concepts and products. I can't do them all myself. I'm not trying to do them all myself, but I can definitely help you figure out the direction and something to actually focus on. But I'm going to stop there because I was giving y'all way too many ideas, but you get the gist, right? Okay, so that's another template. Incredible afternoon. Ooh, baby. Yep. That picture is fire. Yes. Come through with the come through. This is one for mugs where it's blank. You will put your design inside, but it's already giving you the size of it, the spacing. If you want something to be centered in the middle, to the side, to the right, to the left, it's already measured out for you so that you can go and just take your design, take your elements, and either fill in the full square to wrap around your mug so that when you put it in your mug press, it is within the the heating elements, and just for you to actually align it. This is a template and there's no design to it. So you have this, if you have a standard mug press, if you have one where it gets a little bit closer to the handle, if you're putting it in an oven, if you want to do a full wrap where it already has those holes, it's going to fit around your mug. And then templates are not universal. There are some mugs that have like a really narrow, like the way the handle is made, it's kind of narrow. There's some where it is longer. So when you are creating a template or you're purchasing a template, it's making your life easier because you don't have to go in and physically measure it. You don't have to go and figure out where those openings should be. How wide should those openings be? Someone has already done that for you, and you can get that template and you can just simply start to design. You can focus on the part that you really want to do, and that is making it your own and actually putting in the design. So you guys see that there are different levels and different types of templates. Does this give you a different outlook on what a template could be, or how you may have perceived a template before where it's a design? Oh, it'll make my life easier. I just go in there and change the color, change the picture. But maybe you didn't have an appreciation for templates like this. This is one to where it's the size, and it's just anybody can go and get the Kool-Aid jammers, the Capri Sun. Again, be mindful of that just because it is available in a template does not mean that you have legal rights to technically use it. They can still come after you, even though you're just doing it. And it's like, okay, it's personalized. You're advertising, you're saying that it's a Kool-Aid jammer, but it has a different label on it. Just know that they can come after you for their intellectual property. But there are times where, we want to have the jammers, but we want it to match the theme of the party, but you want them to know that it is a Kool-Aid jammer. There are some times where, to me, I don't know about y'all, but for me, Kool-Aid jammers and Capri Suns, they not the same. They not the same at all. They just not the same for me. So when someone just said, like, it's some people just say a juice pouch, or everyone just kept saying Capri Suns, custom Capri Suns, but they were putting it on Kool-Aid jammers. And I'm like, look, I am a Kool-Aid jammer kind of girl. Don't be calling my Kool-Aid jammer no Capri Sun, because we not the same around here. We not the same around these parts. So I like having them separate. But what I end up doing with this one is it's made to where you don't have to leave it in the traditional colors. Everything about this can be customized. You can change out all of the colors on here to make it match your theme. Same thing with the Capri Sun one. Everything has a layer that can be customized. Okay. Where did this little random piece right here come from? Where do you come from? Oh no, but okay. Thanks, hon. I had to come on briefly because this video title had me hollering. Sometimes you have to be preaching because that's that's the most Americans motivating tactic. I know. We're not gonna save this one. Someone asked me before about whether or not I had obituary ones, and I have to change this because it's supposed to be interment, not internment. So I that was my mess up. And I didn't realize that on this one I have Paul Bearer spelled wrong. I do have it correct, but I didn't realize on this one I had it actually corrected it when I did this template. So sometimes templates can be, incorrect, and you guys need to go in there and make sure that you have your own font. I don't give you the font for this, and you will go in and make the corrections. So but this is just kind of that layout of like a trifold and where things would go at and stuff like that. So I do have, someone asked before, do I have any obituary ones? I have these. I don't necessarily have them in Photoshop. I know some of you guys, you want them in Photoshop. I'm not a Photoshop gal like that. I mean, I do design in Photoshop. Look, I've designed some great things in Photoshop as far as service programs, but this to me are a little bit harder to like set up as template. Well, it's just not say harder, it's just time consuming, time that I really don't care to spend. So, because I don't typically come over here and do things like that. So, this can be a template, whether it, I mean, I did this one for, it was some longshoremen's, and it was for them running for different offices. But this is something where someone can take this and make it into anything. It doesn't, well, so I have this here where vote is here in the middle, but because if you ungroup it, you know, it's made to where it's like for vote, it's already cut out. But you can do the one that's solid and you can make this work for anything. So I like giving people blank canvases. So there are elements that are there that I created, but I'm not leading you in how to use it. I want you to think about your project or think about what it, like you can literally make this an invitation. This could be a birthday invitation. It could be a retirement invitation. It can technically be some form of baby shower invitation. Uh, she says, one is sugar water versus juice water. I really didn't like that. Kool-Aid Jammer changed the fruit punch recipe. I used to drink them more than the kids. Yeah, but that is true. One is sugar water, one is juice water. You ain't never lie about that one. So I just want you guys to think, to maybe change your thinking on what it is, and it will help you make more, I'm not going to say smart. I don't like that. That sounds kind of, it'll help you make more intentional purchases when it comes to templates. And you won't feel like it's something that you can't use more than once. All right. So, like for this one, for a mask, we don't want to have to, like, okay, you've already filled your design in. You got to copy that, remove other stuff. Sometimes it's great to just start from a blank canvas and, or a more intentional or more informed decision. Exactly. I don't even say informed. It's not really, it's more of an intentional. I think it's a more intentional decision on what it is that you're purchasing, so that you, like, it's not just you purchasing random things, because informed, you can know about it, but doesn't mean that you actually need it. So I think I like a more intentional purchase. And then this is the one that I'm working on. I got several inboxes about, come on, man, like that's dope. Put that out. So this will end up being in the template vault and on the website pretty soon here. So yeah. All right. Let's get back to the matter of hand, because I need to actually make this into a template. So since I had to work on this anyway, I figured I would do it live and we could chat. So this is the part where if you guys don't post anything, you're simply going to watch my screen move, because this is not necessarily a class. I am just working on a template. So if you don't ask any questions, I'm not going to volunteer up any information. Okay. All right. I previously created a template by tracing my object on paper, scanned, and imported that into Silhouette Studio. When I opened, I could then drag a picture, etc., in to fit it, but I don't remember how I did it. Okay, I will show you. Well, so like depending on how big the item is, you don't even have to really trace it. If you have a scanner, you can just put your item down. If your item is light in color, especially like white, pretty much, you want to put a darker paper, fabric, something over it, because once you close your scanner bed, the top of that is white. So if the object is white, you're not going to get a good scan. So you want to just put something over it. If it is something that is dark in color, just has any color to it, you can simply just put that on the scanner bed, and then you're going to scan it. So once you scan that in, whether you do it as a JPEG or, I would say just do it as a JPEG, because, well, with the Epson scanners, it will come in at the right size. Before I used to do it in PDFs, but you can actually scan it with the Epson scanners. They're coming at the right size. Once you bring that in, all you have to do is do a trace of it. You may have to do a reverse trace, or you may have to invert your colors and then trace, but you just want to basically get a trace of it. And once you have the trace of it, you have the outline for you to design within, and then subtract, crop, weld, whatever it is that you're going to do with inside that outline, that pattern. All right. So the reason why I have to do this over is, people have requested, they wanted to be able to just type in what they wanted, but I had already converted most of these things to paths. So you can do a template in Silhouette Studio, leave it in text format, and then once you're done with it, you can either just print it straight from there or save it. I will always say save as a PDF versus save it as a JPEG or a PNG. I'm just not a fan of saving as a PDF, as a PNG or a JPEG from Silhouette Studio. And then you're flattening it out where it's you can't really edit it. If you leave things in text format in Silhouette Studio, which is one of the things I teach in the 30-day training, which by the way is discounted right now. You'll see the discount at checkout. It is $53.65 right now. So head over to shop.hsink365.com and scroll down to, like if you're on the main page, scroll down to, oh, I went too far. There we go. Essentials to Silhouette Studio, add it to your cart. You'll see the discount there. It's $53.65. It is 30 days of learning how to use Silhouette Studio. If you sign up by Sunday, if we get from Monday up until Sunday, 365 new enrollees into Essentials to Silhouette Studio, those from whether you purchased it in March of last year all the way up until April 9th of 2023, you will have access to my grad design camp for free. If we don't reach that, I will still give you guys a discount code, but we will have where we're going to go through some grad designs and some application and a little bit, not a whole lot about pricing because pricing is different for everyone based off of their skills, but we'll talk a little bit about it. I'm not a believer that there's a universal price, but if we get to 365, everybody you'll have access to attend it. Now it's going to be on a first come first serve basis as far as getting seats into into those Zoom sessions, but you will be able to watch the stream, the private stream version of it. So enroll, tell a friend to tell a friend. It is on sale right now. And again, if we have 365 total new enrollees, calculating from Monday to this coming Sunday until Easter Sunday, you guys will be able to attend the grad design camp for free. Okay. It was not 83. It should not have been 83 for you because as soon as you put it in the cart, it will be 53. Now, I don't think it's I'm not sure if you went directly to the Academy site, but on here, you may have seen 83 here, but once it was in your cart, it's 53. So you should have seen that I Can Design and seen the discount for it. Let me see. You also purchased paper. So you paid, your total was, yeah, you got the discount on it, but you purchased paper. You purchased 11 by 17 paper. So that with your shipping made your total 95. But yeah, you only paid $53.65 for it. This is a great class. Confused on Convert to Path. What exactly does that do? Are you enrolled in our 30-day training? Everything, I will kind of give you a brief breakdown, but everything is broken down in the 30-day training. I highly recommend that you enroll in that. Can you repeat the website, please? Shop.hsink365.com. Shop.hsink365.com. There is a direct link in the description of the video. So if you click out of the chat and you click on the description, it will give you a direct link to the 30-day training, to the website. But you can go to either hsink365.com or you can go to shop. It's going to take you to the same place. It's just redirected that way. Okay. I am moving slow because I feel like I'm missing so much. So I'm still on day 12. I love, love, love this class. So I want to encourage you guys to not spend too much time on one particular day trying to completely master it. You have access to it for a lifetime. It is okay to watch it, maybe write some notes, maybe try some things. If you don't figure it out, it gets frustrating. It's okay. Move on to the next day, because if you were in it live, you wouldn't be able to spend 4 or 5 days on it. So move on to the next day. And a lot of the times, what you may have missed, it's probably something like in a subsequent class that's going to make what you couldn't figure out, it's going to make it click. So don't get caught up on, especially that is tracing day. Don't get too caught up on the day of tracing. Go back to it. Go do something else, come back with fresh eyes, a fresh mind, and try it and practice it again. Yes, you have lifetime access to the training. You can watch it at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You can listen to it on your way to work. Just let me play. Just learn by osmosis and just be in the moment and in the spirit, and just let it play while you're driving to work. All right, so back over here. So, like if I were to do this in Photoshop, I mean, I could you can rasterize in Photoshop to where it's no longer in text mode. There are benefits to doing that. I also have a Essentials to Photoshop training that we kind of just wrapped up. We have one more session for designing that we have to schedule out because of a missed day. So we have one more day that we have to schedule out, but for the most part, you'll have access to all of that training for the Photoshop and Essentials. And it really is about getting you comfortable with the most used tools for designing, because there's a lot of tools in there that we don't touch, but they are for other things. This one will really help you when it comes to designing. So you can rasterize over there. So that will be kind of the same, like the equivalent of compound path over here. You're making it to, like when it comes to text, you are making it to where you can no longer edit it. You're making it to where it becomes an actual path. If I were to send this to someone, which actually I think it's set up over here that way. Oh, wait, no, it's not. This is the regular one. But when I opened this up, if you are on a computer that does not have that font, once you open up that file, the text will look different. Like it's going to default to like Arial or whatever, like the default font is, because that font is not loaded on your computer. But if you want to send it to someone and you want it to be as is and how you see it, you convert it to path, or you rasterize it so that once they open it, it is just solid and it's going to stay in. At that point, it becomes a shape and not text. All right. So with this one, I wanted, like I said, I wanted to be able to make this to where others can edit it. I don't remember what font this was when I designed this in 2020 or in 2023. My laptop has crashed since I had first designed this. So I'm not really sure what the font is for the interview part. This one I know what it is, but I couldn't remember what the fonts were. Now this one I end up finding for figuring out this, and then down here, this is technically the same font of whatever this is. Well, this is a newer one because it came in as Arial and I just picked a font for that one. So now what I'm doing is pretty much just trying to find a different font. But what this also shows you is you don't have to ever use the same font that's there. So I did use this particular font, and the only reason why I used this was because I was designing some other stuff and I had this exact 2020 on there, and I was just trying to match it and make it cohesive. But I really don't like this 2020 on here, which I don't even know why I put 2020 here instead of 2023. But you can literally put any font there. You'll make a duplicate of it so you can have that one just in case you want to come back to it, and you can try out different fonts. So when you have a template, even though you may not have the font that's there, like some people said, it's more so of placeholders. And although, it's just there for you, you would still have to go through and scroll through your fonts and, choose, select a font. And I find that selecting a font can be the hardest thing to do when it comes to designing, selecting a font. But this is all you would do, is just kind of go through and figure out which font you want to use. Which this is actually this one right here. So I'm going to pull that down. The other reason why I kind of sort of don't like doing templates, sometimes I don't remember where the font came from. So like, let's say if I put this template out and I say, okay, you're going to get, sometimes people will put it out and they'll say, here's a link to go purchase this font. I don't remember. I am a hoarder of fonts. I have fonts from Hungry JPEG, like when they have their bundle packs of stuff that was like $19. I used to buy it literally every single month. They would have a font bundle pack, and I was buying it just to buy it. I just had a problem. So I have fonts from Hungry JPEG. I have fonts that I just get from Creative Fabrica, whether it's a single font or if it's a bundle. I get stuff from designbundles.net, fontbundles.net. I used to get fonts from Mighty Shoot is where Samantha Font used to be at. Mighty JPEG. Is it Mighty JPEG? I don't know. But I have fonts from everywhere. Back in the day, before I was understood about like business and having commercial use licenses and commercial use releases for fonts, I would get fonts from places like DaFont or 101 free fonts, whatever. I have some of like the Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, because you're never going to find those on legitimate websites. So I've gone to those sites for things like that. But for shapes and fonts that look like these, I don't typically go to DaFont for them. There are fonts that are on DaFont and they can be on legitimate sites, but you'll be missing certain things. I realized that with a particular font that I had, where I got it from a free site, but then when I end up getting it from a legitimate site, you get all of the characters. So there is some limitations to going to dafont.com. I typically don't. So if you're looking for a font, or people ask, well, where can I find, can I get that on DaFont? What font is that on dafont.com? I don't typically use it, so I won't be able to tell you of any of the free fonts or what's a comparable font on dafont.com. I don't spend any time on there. Actually, that's that font right there. Is that the same one for? I don't think it is though. Yeah, it definitely is not. Oh, duh, because it's all caps. Duh, Shakia. Um, so I ask a lot of YouTube influencers this question that most don't talk about a lot, and it's what CPU computer do you operate business with? I am a PC gal. I am partial to Dell. Some people don't like Dell. Some people like HP. Some people like Intel. Some people like Acer. Some people like MacBooks. All I can say is you want to make sure that you are getting a computer that has decent resources. If you are looking for something cheap, you're going to get cheap. So when you're seeing these sales at Walmart, Best Buy for these computers and stuff, it's for something that you're not going to do graphics on. You're not going to do a whole lot. It's like for maybe working on Word or Excel documents, maybe scrolling the internet, and it's your grandmother's type computer. It's not really meant for any of this where you're going to store a lot of files. You're going to be doing a lot of graphics and things like that. Having a bunch of fonts. So it does not matter. You have to, look at the benefits and pros and cons of each one of those brands. What does their brand have or offer that fits your needs? I am just a Dell girl. I'm a Dell gal. I love my Dell computers. Some people despise them. Some people don't like any particular brand. They will build their computer from scratch. But you want to make sure that you have a decent, you have decent RAM, which is like just your memory. You want to have a damn good graphics card. You want to have good storage. So for me, like for the average business person or just like the average person, even if you do like a lot of pictures of your products, you have a lot of files, most people are okay with just a 1 terabyte hard drive, but you should always have an external storage source. So whether it is a cloud drive, if it's an external drive, which I'm not a big fan of, but cloud drives, or you can have WD My Cloud, Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, like any of those things, that's just extra storage. So for me, in the fact that I save a lot of videos, like whenever I'm doing my classes, I don't record them to Zoom's cloud. I record them to my computer. Because it's so many files there until I can move them, I technically should have gotten a bigger hard drive, because right now my hard drive is like, girl, you doing too much. So I needed a bigger one, but the average person can pretty much, like business owner, can get away with just a simple 1 terabyte. Just depends on what your business is. If you do a lot of graphics, you have a lot of videos and things like that, 1 terabyte won't work for you. You want to get a larger hard drive and also still have the external storage as well. I want to get technical. I'm not looking for needs certain programs like Silhouette, Adobe Cricut. I need to know how much. So there is no, so the problem is you're asking that question of a crafter, and most of them don't know. What you want to do is actually go into a store, speak with the representative, let them know what your needs are, what you plan to do. One of the best things that you can kind of start with as far as like looking would be for a gaming system. When you're doing the virtual reality, especially if it says virtual reality, because those are heavy in graphics, they have to have the memory, the graphics card, to make sure that those things move smoothly. So when you're going in there, let them know what it is that you plan to do. Do you need a system that, because you do videos, do you need a system that's going to have great graphics? Are you someone that really, really wants to, like, you want to make sure that your screen is going to give you the best color so that it matches without having to do a lot of calibration? So the average person online, they're not there to really teach and instruct. And it's a whole breakdown of it, because it really is based off of your needs. It may take a lot of research in taking these keywords, taking these things that I'm saying, as far as you need to have a good graphics card. Okay, now your search is, what's the best you're going to do a Google search, best graphics cards for computers in 2023. You're going to go and look for that. You're going to look for best monitors, just things like this. You have to take the information that someone gives you. No one can go and tell you that your CPU needs to be this size, your graphics card needs to be this, your RAM needs to be this, because they don't know what your needs are. So write down what your needs are, and then when you go in to speak to a rep in a store, or if you call a company and speak with someone, or you're scrolling through their website and you're looking at it. So I built my Dell desktop from scratch on their website, and just like, I started with a particular computer, and then I added things to it. You use Dell as well. And then it also comes down to, like, some people love Mac for the graphics part of it, but most machinery, like, so I can't use a Mac for my Roland. I can't use, like, a lot of people can't use a Mac for their DTF printers, or they'll have to use the Parallel, and then they don't really like using that. So some people will have a Mac for all of their, like, office type deals, and they'll have, like, they're not really storing a lot of their graphics on that computer, so it doesn't have to be too powerful. They're just going to have that computer so that they can have it run their different machines that run off of Windows and does not have a Mac option. I get what you're asking, but no one I was asking more about the text, not the name brands. And with Dell, they have blocked all my cards because they did some scamming of the things. Cash has my cash. Oh wow. But yeah, so even like no matter what, like certain computers can't handle certain specs. So it does still come down to brands. It comes down to which ones will allow you to actually upgrade. So not every system has an option where you can go in and it becomes plug and play to just change out or add to your memory, or switch it out. So name brands are very important. It becomes very technical. So if you're looking for technical, I would recommend that you start to go onto YouTube channels about tech stuff. It might get boring for you because it's going to get very detailed. People like me, I love it. I can sit in that tech world all day long. But if you're wanting detail, a crafter is not the person that you ask for that. Half of them don't even know the computer that they got. They just went to the store and purchased a computer. So spend time on tech and computer related YouTube videos. Look for those types of people on social media, on TikTok. Listen to what those gamers are saying, the systems that they are using. That is where you want to get that information from. We can't just because you're in this world, you can't expect for a crafter to give you, whether they're an influencer or not. They are an influencer for crafts. They're not an influencer for computers. That makes sense. I've had my WD My Cloud. It's been down. So someone said that the WD My Cloud home has been down for a few days. I don't know what's going on. I have both. I have the home and I have the other one. Most of my stuff is on the other one. And that has been kind of scaring me that a lot of people are saying that the WD My Cloud home, they're having issues with it because it's not, I mean, it's on their server, but it shouldn't be to where you don't have access to your content. So I've been looking into that, but just haven't had the time to really dive into that. So I was asking more on the tech specs, not the name. I did that one. So I did exactly what you're explaining. I looked through everything and went to jail technology to build my computer, just like you were saying. Now I spoke with representative since I live about 15 minutes away from the nearest computer specialist. I live in the woods, and my needs are pretty much the stuff that you usually explain. My computers are horrible, like they freeze up too much. So yeah, I'm not sure that is it for everything it freezes up? No, yeah, I'm not sure. They were hacked. Oh wow, wow. Yep, you definitely need to back up to the backup. Okay, so I'm just trying to find a font for this. I do like that one. Feel free to chime in over on TikTok as well. This is an open discussion. Again, I am not necessarily like, it's just open because I'm not teaching about this. I needed to do this template. And if y'all aren't asking questions about template, me and Deepwood's Diva TV are going to have a whole conversation about computers if y'all don't ask questions about design programs and templates and stuff like that. Okay. So again, there now you're talking to tech people about craft stuff. That's the problem. This word crafters, it's not craft. You have to explain to them what it is that you want to do. I want to create graphics in Photoshop. I use a lot of fonts. I use I do a lot of videos. Then they can direct you. You can't just say crafts because that's not their world. They're not crafters. You have to learn to speak their terminology. I have at least 16 gigs of RAM. That's memory, not hard drive. Memory is for being able to do multiple things at once with speed. Exactly. So when you have those, it's basically the different channels, and it's saying how many channels can information flow on. The more channels that information can flow on, the better your your computer will run. You have less, that's less highways that, they always say like the information highway. That's basically what your RAM is, your memory card. And how can it retain that? Like, it has to be able to process all these different things and keep, okay, the last thing that you did, have to store that information. Like right now, I'm switching back and forth. I'm doing this, I'm clicking over here, putting stuff on my screen and stuff like that. So 16 for me is not enough. For what I do, 16 is not enough. So you have to, like I said, and before you go into a store, watch videos where people are talking about the pros and cons and the different things of computers and the different specs, because we don't know exactly what it is that you want to be able to do. So 16 may not be enough for you. All right. Do you have an older video or tips on how to cut a design bigger than the mat? Are you saying just like something that's standard, like just a basic shape or design, or are you referring to a print and cut? Those are two different things. Wait, I know that we as crafters don't explain certain things, but okay, his nose is not being his shady towards you, but I think about going and getting items that could potentially not safe per wait, that's wait, hold on. Hold on. I know that we as crafters don't explain certain things, but okay, his nose is not being shady towards you, huh? But think about going and getting items that could potentially not be safe. I'm not sure. It's not making. Can you reword that? It's good to purchase and that's why I said again. That's why the one thing I always tell people, and I will just say it, is a gaming system. Get a gaming computer. Well, what is that? That's when you go into the store and say, what's the best gaming and virtual reality system you have? And if you are able to afford that, get it. Um, worker just brought new house. I'm doing a round wood door hanger. It's wait, Co-worker just bought a new house. I'm doing a round wood door hanger. It's 19 inches in diameter. Okay, but is it just words? Like, it all depends on what it is. So if it's something where you can actually ungroup it and separate the sections and then cut them in sections, you do it that way. If you have to split it down the middle, you create that split and then you just cut it, and then you have to manually put it together. Um It's not the width that I want. Okay, so what information do you feel like you are missing then? If you said that, everything that I'm telling you, wait, when I tell you Professor is telling me everything I've already done and everything she has been talking about to me, even sat on gamers who talk about computers and ask the same questions. So, what is it that you feel like you are missing? What part of it isn't so if you've done this, so how have you written down these things? Do you know what it is that you want? So you've listened to them and all these different things. Have you written down the specs that you want? Do you know what you want to use it for? Are you wanting just to create some designs? I just want to be able for it to not run slow because I'm using Photoshop. So I know you said that the computer that you have now, it's moving slow. Do you know the actual specs? Have you looked at those specs and saw where, what you have, and then now asking, okay, to go and ask someone, this is the computer that I have. I have this much memory. My graphics card is this particular brand and it's this particular speed. My hard drive is this particular, amount. Have you gone through those? Do you even know the specs for your computer to where you can get advice on what upgrades to make? We can't give you specs, love. Or a lot of okay, so well, okay, wait. Now I've read that right. So you said when you go into Best Buy. So if you go into Best Buy, you're saying they're not being chatty. Yeah, they're trying to just kind of get a sale. They really are looking for people to come in and say, "Hey, this is what I want to do. I'm looking for the best memory card, the best this, the best that, whatever. My budget is this." Also have a budget in mind of how much you want to spend, because you can want the best computer, but if your budget is like $500, you're not about to get the best computer for your needs. Yeah, when I tell you, I've been telling them exactly. I just shortened it because you can't find everything. You got to stay in the comment unless you break it up. So yeah, I would say really writing down what you have, what your deficiencies are. When you say that it's being slow, is it all the way around? Is it when you're on the internet? Then that might not be your computer. That might be your upload and download speed of your provider. Is it that when you are in Silhouette Studio, is it going slow? Is it slow in Silhouette Studio? Is it also slow in Photoshop? You have to be very specific about what your needs are. Storage on a computer is not important to me because I use external storages. I currently use WD My Cloud, suggested by the professor, which is 4 TB. So yeah, for just traditional like saving pictures, files, storage can be to where it's like not really important. But if you're someone that's going to have a lot of programs as well as your items, you want to have, and like I said, 1 TB is normally good for the average like creator. For me with videos, 1 TB was not enough. Even though I have an external storage, it takes longer to process or to move things around when it's going from the external, my WD, my cloud, to certain things. So having all of that be on an external one, when I'm trying to upload it to my Academy site, it actually moves slower than it being on my actual hard drive on my, so it just really, again, it depends on your needs. I found that out from working with it, and I had the same thought process of what my laptop was. I upgraded from that, but the more videos that I'm doing, my desktop is actually becoming inadequate to where I had to go back now where I use a separate laptop to record my Zoom sessions because it was putting too much on my actual main computer. All right. So I guess breaking it up, it would probably be the smartest way to do it. Yes. So that will be the way that you do it. If you're able to break it up. If it's something that's welded and stuck together, you're just going to have to split it. All right. So now, okay, I know this part up here is impact. So I'm going to just go here and all caps senior life. And this is impact. Oh my God, this 4.5 and these darn smart snapping is driving me absolutely bonkers. Anyone have any questions related to designing or templates and things of that nature? I don't want you guys to feel like it's just tech talk. We are talking about templates and designing. So if you have questions in regards to those, let me know. Oh, come on. No, I just had to bring it small. It's actually already at, it really was at 100%. Actually, I didn't have to do that part. Oh, Shakia, you just did all that work for nothing. This stays at senior life. Duh. I didn't have to retype that over. No, it's okay. I mean, they weren't asking questions, but I just don't want anyone to feel like it's just tech talk because we are talking about temples. Like I said before, if they don't ask any questions, we'll end up having this whole conversation. But to be honest, there isn't really much more that I can say, about the computers. Graphics are compatible with the certain programs we're installing and not going to constantly freeze up because I can't handle it. And we also want true colors because we're artists. So your computer and your monitor are two different things. So if you will have to purchase your CPU and then you will have to do research on which monitor you want. If you're doing a laptop, you can't really control that. The color on my Dell laptop looks totally different from my Dell monitors. So that's, it's about, it's a lot of, it's a lot of factors. For some people, it can take you a while to either build or just kind of find the right elements. You might end up with a Dell CPU, but you prefer an HP monitor or a Acer monitor or a different type monitor. So they don't have to be like all in one box. When you go to the store and you're trying to get like this all in one of this system that's in one box, most times it's not going to be ideal. The reason why I have everything Dell is because I purchased it and I customized it and I chose the two monitors that I wanted from Dell. Like I had the Dell keyboard, that didn't work for me. I have a Logitech keyboard and mouse now because I could not stand the Dell keyboard. So you're going to have to literally build it out. But I know I was asking before, what do you know the specs of the computer that you have now? FYI, I would buy your list of fonts. And I was saying that in the beginning. I was really joking when I said that because to be honest, I don't remember where half these fonts came from. So even if I told you the fonts that are there, Some I just kind of got just to get or whatever, but I don't remember where half of them are from. So you would get the list and you're still going to have to do work to figure out where they're from. I was kidding when I said that. When we join the class, should we use business edition? You don't have to. There are certain times where I discuss things that are specific to designer or business edition, but everything except like, rhinestones, you can't do that if you don't have designer or business. You can't do glyphs if you don't have it. So we're on the text and we're talking about glyphs. If you don't have those, you can't. When we're talking about flexi shapes, if you don't have that. So I would advise to have business edition, but it's not a requirement to get through the class because I teach it from a standpoint of everyone has the basic version. I like to use certain keyboard shortcuts and things like that. You don't have to use those. You can use just the regular, you can just do it like the regular way or whatever. I like my properties dropper. You don't have to do that. You can type it all out. So it just depends, but you don't have to. But I do recommend that you have business edition. And if you don't have it, use my link to go ahead and purchase it. I do receive a small commission, but it's no difference in price to you. And over on Swing Design, to go from the free version to the business version, it's a one-time purchase and it's going to cost you $49.99. Is there a way to see the actual size? Is there a way to see the actual size of a group of items? What do you mean the actual size of a group of items? Once you group them together, you're going to see what the total size is. Now, if you want to know, well, what size is this? What size is this? What size is that? No, you're not going to be able to tell it once it's grouped together. Once you group it, it's going to give you the size of all of it together. My apologies for Google autocorrecting, and I know I took up way too much of your reading time. I'm speaking into the phone because of neuropathies, issues. I'm actually at the end. I've been saving up since last year, and it actually started about a year ago, since April last year. I've been constantly investigating and updating information, gathering notes, but I have wanted to see what crafters are using, especially those who are able to do what you do, cross-platform lives. So that me cross-platforming lives has nothing to do with the computer. That has nothing to do with the type of computer that I'm using. That has everything to do with the website that I'm using, and that I purchased and I paid for, should I say. So that has nothing. So that's other thing too. Like some people think that the things that people do is based off of a certain computer, not knowing that we have other apps and other programs and other websites that we're using to be able to do all this. So the type of computer that I have has nothing to do with me going and cross posting on different platforms. Yeah, that's how I was. Well, the font bundles and stuff. Yeah, that's how I got way too many fonts. And to be honest, you may need 2 or 3 computers. Like one computer may not be what you need. Like major companies, they will have different computers for different things. And like I said, I know that you don't get everything as one stop. I never intended to ask that question with that belief system. And also, don't take anything personal. I'm speaking in general because although others may not be asking these questions, they may have these questions. This might be helpful for them. So don't feel like anything that I'm saying is like completely directed towards you. It is just general information that can help somebody else that might be too afraid to ask it. So they said, if you're using it for business, get a minimum of 12 to 16 RAM. That's your memory. You don't want an onboard graphics card that is attached to your motherboard. So a gaming PC is best. And see, everyone's going to go back to the gaming PC, a gaming PC. Because like I said, I was in my shopping cart. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. $3,000. I had to everything that I wanted that I'm searching from Dell, and Dell had very overzealous salesperson with ill intentions. Oh wow. Okay, so we're going to ungroup this. All right, I don't know what font this was. I'm tired of looking. I'm just going to use. Do I want to use this one? Best filters. 4. Best filters for, oh, I don't really like this one. I typically don't stretch fonts, but I'm gonna make that one like that because I really don't like the way that looks. And see, that's the other thing too, right? So let's say I was to make this a template, right? And I took this font and I stretched it out. And I sold it as a template with that as a placeholder, because I actually took that box and either stretched it out or shrunk it. When you go to put your font in there, it might look a little cuckoo crazy because I have shrunken that particular font box. That's another reason why I don't like really providing templates where there are placeholders for text, unless you're going to use a font where you don't have to change the you don't have to change the scale of it. Man, I don't like the O on this. Why can't I remember what friggin' font this was? Oh my gosh. Oh, crapola. There's 2 back there. Why did everything double? What the heck? Oh my gosh. Seriously? Okay, wait. Let's move you here. How in the heck did I get double of everything? What in the heck? You know what? Why do I have double of, like, that time I really had triple of everything? Well, quadruple of everything. What the heck? Okay, that was only 1. All right. Okay, that's only 1. All righty. Now we're cooking with fish grease. Does anybody know how I knew that I had 2 of everything before I even clicked on it? Who knows how I knew that I had 2 of everything? So, okay, see now here we are, right? You only had 8 gigs of RAM. Yeah, definitely not good. uh, Also, look, the other part would be to look at the programs that you are considering using and looking and seeing what their specs are and making sure that your computer not only meets those specs, but maybe even surpasses those minimum specs. I'm sorry, I'm at work, had to get off for a minute and may have missed your response to which edition of Silhouette to have for the training. You can work from the free version. You don't have to go to designer or business edition. I do show some things, and like when we get to like rhinestones, when we get to SVGs, you have to have designer edition or above for SVGs, but we also talk about DXFs. So there were several people that after they took the training, they saw the benefits of having different things and they got whether they got designer or business, but it is not required to follow along with the training. 93.65% of the things that are done in that training can be done from the free version of the software. Is there a design template where you are providing all? This is a design template where you're providing all the elements? No, it's not. I don't do those types of templates. Like I typically don't do those types of templates. I like providing you guys blank canvases to explore your creativity. What about the boxes though? Because when I just went over it, was just the boxes technically were on top of each other. So when I went over it, I just by seeing the boxes, I didn't know that I had double. There's something else that told me that I had double of everything. Something else that I did. All right. Whatever. I guess I'm just going to use this font. I ain't got time for it. I don't have time for it. I'm just going to use this one. Oh, no, but that's why I didn't use that one, because it's all caps. Ugh. Nope, I didn't move it. It's because I moved it. Okay, so I'll show you how I knew. This is supposed to be one element, right? If I go and I select right there, I don't see a double box. I see the outside one and I see this one, right? If I hold down shift and I click here, I still saw the same box around it. That let me know there was more than one thing there. So, well, now I'm going to click on it, hold down shift, I'm going to click deselect the background. So this looks like it's only one, but now I know that there's two of everything. So I'm going to click it. So even when I click it, I still have a box that lets me know there was two there. I'm going to delete it. And then also my shadow changed. So I'm going to just select it again. If I hold down shift and click on it, see that box goes away because there's only one thing there because I drag and select. It's not selected anymore. But that's how I knew. But now that I know everything has double, I'm going to go in and delete all of the double pieces. What are you doing? Why is it holding on to this Jordan? All of these little scraggly pieces. Why is it not deselecting this? What the heck? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this one was one of the times where I did a keyboard shortcut duplicate and it duplicated everything technically on top and I didn't realize it. LOL, I went to your Facebook to see if you were live on there so I can thank the person who made the comment in conjunction to what you said, and it's not showing up. It's not showing up on live. So yeah, I'm on Facebook, but I am on Shakia Lavelle. I'm not on Silaholics Anonymous or Honestly Speaking. So you have to go to my Shakia Lavelle profile. What word was she saying about the first template? The blank. Wait, what word was she saying about the first template? The blank one sounds like stole. You wait, you don't don't wear, huh? You don't where the stole is. I'm not sure what you mean. I was saying the word stole. So that's what it's called, a stole. Some people say stole, but it's really like a stole is the fabric piece that they wear around their shoulders, that grads wear around their shoulders. And see, fonts like this are very busy. They have a lot of edit points and they can be very annoying. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this. Get off my screen. Just what the heck is going? Okay, I don't have time for this. Let's save this. I did not say print. I didn't mean to go print. Cancel. Let's. Oh my gosh, the heck? What's wrong with my mouse? Let's save this and then close out because I don't know what the heck is going on with that whole Jordan situation, but it's driving me absolutely crazy. Okay. If you were asking that, that means you are way back. So you're not going to hear my answer until it's way too late. All right. Okay. All of that crazy stuff is gone. I'm like, what the world? But it took away my width. All right. I'll be right back. I need a drink of water. My water thing needs to be charged. I don't know where my husband has the charger at, so excuse me for smacking on ice. Hmm. really don't. Why does this not? This is driving me absolutely bonkers. I'm so confused. Why is my IN like that? Oh God. What is ASMR? Have you ever seen those videos where it's just the sound? Like you can hear it, like it's um like only the sound, and it's an overemphasis on the sound. So you'll hear things like just it's people that will bite into like crunchy things, just listening to the sound of like squishy stuff. People who do mukbangs are basically like ASMR, to where you're just you'll just listen to them, the sound of them cracking a crab leg, sucking out, like it's just sounds. Exactly. She says my crunching is. She says your crunching to me is funny. I was actually doing it um aggressively because she mentioned ASMR over there. So I was actually doing I was over exaggerating the way that I was chewing. Ha! No, I did it because she mentioned ASMR. So I was over exaggerating the crunching sound. I'm making your teeth cold. That's the power of having a really great microphone. And that's the thing too. Like when people are doing those, it's not just like any microphone. Like you want a really, really good one. Okay, look, here we go. Oh God. I really don't like biting into ice like that. It's weird. Yeah, it's ice. We have the nugget ice machine that produces the nugget, like kind of like the raceway and like the gas station, was the Sonics like ice. My husband got me that for Christmas, so it's like the nugget ice. So since we're talking about ice, is this the country as like a Sonic ice? Yeah, so I have one of those ice. And actually, I just asked that. So yes, I answered that. So yes, I have one of those ice machines. My husband got it for Christmas. Yes, it's that good ice, that hospital ice. Yeah, there we go. See, right as I'm saying it, y'all are writing it. Yes, it's like Sonic and hospital ice. Yes, yes, God, it's amazing. In a Wawa's cup, because that's what it's the biggest cup that I had in my office. Oh, you thought I was eating crackers or potato chips? No, it's ice. I went to go get water. We have here I am crunching. At home, we have the machine where you have the jug and stuff underneath, and you just hit the button and it filters out the water and stuff. But here we didn't get like the whole big machine. There's a little contraption that you can bake. It's a big old tube, and you put it on the top of the big blue gallon thingies of water, but it has to be charged. And we've been using it for a while, and now it needs to be charged, and it's not outputting water. and that jug is still full, so it's too heavy for me to try and like pour water out. So I said, okay, I'm just gonna get ice. I normally would put it inside of my stainless steel tumbler. That way my water stays colder. But if I put the ice in my stainless steel tumbler, it's going to take forever for it to defrost and melt. So I had to put it in my Wawa's cup so that it can actually defrost. Well, it can melt, not defrost, so it can melt so I can actually have water until even comes into the office and charges up my water dispenser. A customer brought you one for Christmas? Yeah, that's amazing. That I'm pretty sure her customers do love her. Aquisha is absolutely incredible. She's amazing. All right, so I guess this one's done, but why do people chew ice? People have different reasons for it. Some people they'll say it's associated with them having low iron. For some, it's just a comfort thing. Some it's just a bad habit. For some, it's their way of getting their water intake without actually drinking water, which is really you don't really get a lot of water intake when you're doing it that way. Some people chew it for different reasons. I need to figure out a font for this. I have no idea what font this is. No idea. Okay, let's start at the bottom and just work our way up. I'd rather it be exactly the way that it was here. I gotta figure out what font that is. Be very mindful and be very careful with just tapping up when you're doing this, because if you do it too fast and you do it without pausing or stopping, you'll get to a point to where all of your text will turn into squares. If you are someone that wants to make templates, create your even if you're going to convert it to path, create your template, save that as the raw file so that you still have the fonts to it, and then convert it. I mean, Samara seeds. Yes, she's been rocking with me from the start. Thanks, Dean. I'm ugly crying. Oh my gosh, we should get off my system. Okay, get off my get off my screen. You and your ugly cry. You know, sometimes I'm making you ugly cry. That's not it either. Oh wait, did I? Oh, I may have stretched out a font because that darn show looks now. I think my V and my W are wider. No. Oh, I normally don't do that though. I did find it, but I stretched it out. Oh, I typically don't do that. That is kind of interesting that because I'm like, man, that looks like it, but I wasn't quite sure. But the fact that it is stretched, oh, I normally don't do that. Or did I use this one but put an offset on it? Oh man, that is that font. Oh wow. I mean, I guess, sometimes I do stretch out my fonts. Yep, that is definitely that. No, okay, so no, I did not stretch it out because that's too thick, but it is that font, but it is, like I said, it was probably this version, and I put an offset around it. So this leads to another reason why it is kind of harder for me to do templates, because I may not be you like my students know that I will change something up in a heartbeat. I love my edit points. I'm going to add something to it. I'm going to move around the edit point. I'm going to change the shape. Or I will customize a font and change it and make it something else. So you're not going to be able to find this as a font. Like I can change up certain letters, mix and match fonts. So if you're looking for like these exact shapes, you're not going to find it. So this was a situation where I actually took this one and put an offset on it, because this W, well, see, then this is flat, but this W here, now this is the condensed bold, or actually, I wonder if this has a bold. Okay, nope, so it might be the bold one. Let's see. Nope, I still put an offset on it, I think. Let's see, does it fit? So it is slightly different. I probably did something where I modified it. My R comes out a little bit more on this one than it does here. So most likely why this one is this way is because I modified this font. So some people were asking, okay, for a placeholder, but if I visualize it in a certain way and I wanted it to have an offset or I wanted it to be thicker, I can't necessarily make it thicker and give you that font, because once you put an offset on it, that is no longer text. That is a shape. So you would have to be okay with this template where you're not going to change any of the words for this particular section. You're going to leave it as interview with however I have it set up. And then you would simply change out the word, like the name Jordan, and you would put something else there. Instead of flyest, you would put whatever adjective that you wanted to describe that person. So I know, like for me, I'm always changing something up. I would say it's rare, but a good majority of my designs have fonts or have elements that I have modified. Hence why, another reason why I don't really care to do certain types of quote unquote design templates where you have placeholders and then somebody can just type it in and change it, because um yeah, because it's not actually text. Why you do not stretch? Because it changes the shape of the font, um, or even pictures. So if this is meant to be this way and I pull it down, like it's elongating. If that's not the look that I want, so I don't really pull them from the bottom or from the side nodes to where you're going to stretch it out like that. I normally pull from the outside so that it adjusts proportionally, because when you do these, you're either stretching it or squishing it, and that's not always a good thing. Sometimes you're trying to create certain effects and it may warrant you doing that, but it's not something that I typically do. What am I working on? So yesterday I had a little video, and it all started from a post that I made when it was people asking about whether or not I was going to have a template for this particular design. So I ended up having a video where it turned into a whole, Baptist revival, where I talked about, well, supposedly talking about why I don't typically sell templates, but it just talked about templates. It talked about boundaries in business and things like that. But people still were asking about it. So since I had to come on here and make it where it's a template that can be edited, when I designed this, I was not thinking about it being a template that I'm going to give to someone else. I wasn't even thinking about it being something that I would remake just like this for someone else, where I just put interview with it. This was literally the first time that I ever made a magazine cover for a senior. So I was just playing around with it. Others wanted it, but in order for me to make it a template that they can edit, I now have to go back in here and figure out what font was used, certain techniques that I use so that they can go in and just type in whatever it is they want. And it's a placeholder that is editable. So that's what I'm working on for this particular file. But yeah, it looks like I'm just going to leave that as interview with. The name will be something that they can change. But see, here lies the other issue, right? So when I was designing this, because I'm trying to, of course, limit the number of fonts, I don't want to have too many fonts within a design. Interview with, and then MNSH, and then senior are all technically the same font. So if I want this to be to where they are typing in the school initials and have it matched, this needs to be a font, an option to where they can actually click on it and change it. But if I just leave this as interview with and then Jordan, the school initials or school name will be a different font than the rest of it. And that's where your designs can get kind of muddy because you're using way too many fonts. Make sense? You are a font addict. It comes from the first time we had a Windows 98 and got there and seen Papyrus. After that, I've been hooked on phone fonts. Why do you put an offset on it and not leave it in its original form? Because if I'm looking at it and I want it to be bolder, I want it to be thicker. I like the shapes of fonts sometimes. I just don't like how thin it is, or I'll change the spacing on it because it naturally comes spaced out. I might want it to be closer together, or it becomes it's naturally closer together. I want it spread out some. I don't want it to be where, it's like that. So it's just about a visual thing and how you are envisioning it. Henceforth, I don't really do templates because I'm always kind of putting my own vision on it. Like, I don't want to be completely like stifled by what somebody already has there. I want to figure it out. Like, I want to put my own little touch on it. So I'm that's one of my hesitations about creating templates, because I feel like I'm enabling others to not unlock their creativity. Do I teach how to modify fonts? I sure do. I have a text effects class. I have an SVG training where we've gone through like changing up fonts when you take the 30-day training and go through the point editing and the text class. So text effects is different from the text class inside of the 30-day training. You technically learn all the tools, but we like in the text effects when we focus specifically on, doing text effects. But yes, I've done that in several videos, several classes, but it starts with the 30-day training. And in the point editing class, we do an assignment, or we basically do an assignment or an exercise where we are modifying and changing up fonts. So if you have not enrolled in the 30-day training, now it's time for a great commercial break. Make sure that you head on over to shop.hsink365.com. That is where you will find our Essentials to Silhouette Studio Learn Silhouette Studio in 30 days training. I go through pretty much every essential tool and function and just explaining its why, how it, like at its core, how does it work. It is on discount right now for $53.65. for all of those who, well, and I say for all those who sign up, if we get 365 new enrollees from Monday until Sunday. So y'all have basically 2 more days to tell a friend, or y'all to go on there. If you've been thinking about it, go on there and enroll. So if I have 365 new enrollees from Monday until Sunday, anyone that has taken it will have access to my grad camp. So I'm going to kind of go through some designs, go through some things for grad season. Anyone can attend it because it's going to be open for anyone to pay to attend it. But I'm going to, if y'all help me reach that goal, I will, anyone that has signed up or that was already in not creative business, that was already in the Essentials Train, Silhouette Studio Essentials Training from March 2022 till April 9th, 2023, you will have access to that training for free. So it's limited spots on who can attend live. Once it reaches that threshold, no one else will be able to enter the Zoom room on any of the days. Like, so once it reaches that max, hey, that's it. But you will have access to the playback. Anyone that signs up after the 9th, they will not have access to the playback. It's not going to be inside of the training. You guys will get the links for it. You'll have a separate link for the playback of it. It will not just be in the training, but you will have access to it as long as you have signed up by Sunday. You wait till Monday, you're going to pay if you want to attend the grad training. And if we don't reach our goal, I will drop a discount code onto your dashboard for you to sign up for the grad design camp. You're showing me exactly why I don't like to do templates. I like to just do everything, or to do everybody's stuff individual. I'll make it similar, but it's not going to be the same. Exactly. I don't get caught up on exact fonts. I try to find a font I like or similar. That's me as well. Well, I hope you get this is Deepwood's Diva talking. Yeah, I saw it before. Since I can type a little bit more. Your interview looks like it was stretched from the side node when the spacing was negative. Exactly. So as I'm saying, like I don't remember. I did that in 2020. Like I designed it, so I was kind of going through it, trying to figure out what all I did for that one. What's the enrollment count? What's your goal? Wait, what is our goal to help meet or exceed? Wait, huh? What? Oh, so I'm not telling you guys how many are there now. I mean, I'm an honest person, so we somewhat know. We've kind of looked at it, but we're looking for 365. So don't worry about the number. Just keep posting, keep referring it to others. Drop the link so you can go directly to the website, copy that link, or you can copy the link that is in the description of this video and share it with someone, tag them on one of our videos. But yeah, we will do a full-on tally and, hopefully we reach the 365 goal. But in this training, we go through, the heck is going on with my computer? We go through the benefits of the upgrade. So if you don't have the upgrade, that will let you know if you need the upgrade, if you want the upgrade, if you want to kind of wait. Preferences, shortcuts, and how to properly save, where to save. What do you save to your library? What do you save to your hard drive? When do you use save as? When do you use just a regular save? What happens if you just hit save? And so I break down all of that. Program layout, design page setup and registration marks if you're doing print and cut, modify and subtract all, modify crop and compound path. Modify tools, the modify tools, weld, divide, basics of text to path, cropping to text. We go over understanding your fill tool and your gradients, how to do custom colors, some other things within that, how to do your patterns. I think patterns are in that one too. I think basics of tracing, trace and detach. Line shapes and shape tools, line colors and style, align tool, replicate basics, advance or replicate advanced, because there's two different types of replicate functions. I think the replicate advanced, you do have to have designer edition or above for that one. So that would be one where you do have to have it for that. Edit points, there's two different days for edit points because it's a lot when it comes to edit points. Offsets, image effects, rhinestones, SVG, and DXF files, the differences between those. Hands-on designing for 2 days and kind of Q&A stuff. And then we went through creating some templates, and then we did more designing and review and Q&A sessions for anything that we have done. So yes, Essentials covers everything within Silhouette Studio. It covers everything. All right. So I think that just for the sake of this, I might go ahead and just leave it as is. Yep, that is definitely that font for senior and all of that stuff. All right. Just for the sake of this one, and if someone wants to have it where it is thicker, they will just simply have to do it themselves. So we're just going to go interview with. That's a big difference between the width of these two, or the thickness of these two. Okay, what the heck is going on? So, like, see, for me, right? If I'm doing this, I actually don't like this part that's here. So when I'm designing, it's like really hard to kind of like leave this because I don't like that tail. I would ungroup and then delete all of this. This particular one, I don't think it, I'm going to look into the glyphs, but I don't think that this font has an option where it doesn't have all this foolishness on the back of the S. That's like their standard, but I don't like it. So I most times edit fonts like this because I don't like the other little pieces. I also don't like that it's kind of, I should have did that beforehand. So I like the shape of this, but I don't like the orientation of it. I didn't mean to turn on the shadow. So I may have, like, when you guys, like, let's say when you saw the final template or the final thing, it's like you're looking for yours to be this way. Okay, wait, you told me that it's this font. Why is mine not looking that way? Well, I'm not giving a full on instruction with the template to say, okay, well, you're going to use this font, you're going to type it out, and then you're going to use your skew to straighten it up. I'm not giving a full on, this is what you do for each one of these templates. I don't have classes for each template to show you how to use each template. So you just have to know how it is that you want to design it and how you want it to look. So I am going to come up here to see if this one has a regular S. Nope. This has no S without the tail. This is the way that this font is set up. So you will have to use the tail. And I really like it. Okay, so now the more I work through this, the more I don't want to provide this as a template. I guess I got to find, let me just find a regular old font. Yeah, because I'm not like the fact that like for my name, I would edit that. I wouldn't leave it as is. So now I got to find something that I'm cool with being a placeholder for this. Um, look, the font she was just talking about. How did you become committed, or should I say choose Select Studio being your main design platform? I've worked in a bunch of them. So I learned the Adobe family when I was in high school. So in the graphics designing class, we worked with Illustrator and Photoshop, which I mean, I like those for certain reasons. But I always only use those when I was in school. I don't know. I don't think I've ever asked my mom about getting it, like for me or whatever. I don't know. But once I went into the military and I'm like, okay, I want to get back to my design roots, because back then, anytime I wanted to design, I would design in Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word was totally different than how it is now. You had a little bit more freedom in how you move things around. So I used to work the heck out of Microsoft Word and even PowerPoint to create like invitations, flyers, stuff like that. Well, when I went into the military, just kind of like my downtime, once I was actually able to have a computer, which was once I got to my first duty station, I was in Korea, and it was a lot of downtime for me because I didn't do much. I'm not a partier. I don't really go to the club like that. Every once in a while I would go, but that just wasn't my life. Like I was never one that was in the club. So I was like, well, let me get back to my designing, because at that point I hadn't done it for a while because I was through basic training and tech school and all this other good jazz. So when I went to go get it or look for it, as an airman, trying to preserve money or making foolish decisions, I was like, look, ain't nobody about to pay Adobe all this money for this darn Photoshop. Because at that time, they didn't have the cloud. You had to buy it straight out. And that sucker was expensive. And I was like, Adobe has lost their ever-loving mind. So I went to LimeWire. Not sure if you know how old you are, but there was this thing. You used to have Napster, which was mainly for music, and then we had LimeWire that had some of everything else, like certain videos you probably should have been watching at a certain age, and programs and stuff like that. It was like the bootleg version of stuff. So I ended up getting CorelDRAW, one of my all-time favorite softwares. Use that for a long time. I got glad I got my first like video or sound editing software through LimeWire until I ended up having to pay for it myself so I can properly edit my cheer my cheer mixes. So got that or whatever, had it for a while until my computer crashed. Once my computer crashed, I was looking into other softwares. I still wasn't ready to pull the trigger on Photoshop. I would use like other like Photoshop from other places and stuff like that. And I worked at different places, they had those things. So I would kind of work on stuff there. Never got it myself, and I just was without it for a while. I got a Cricut Expressions, but that was the one with the cartridges and stuff like that, and you're limited when it comes to utilizing that. And those cartridges were getting on my nerves. So I was doing a bunch of research and stuff like that, and people were talking about shortcuts a lot and make the cut, because I had the Gypsy, I had like some other things that somewhat allow you to create certain things, but you were still limited. So people were talking about shortcuts a lot, make the cut, that you could design on there and then cut to your Cricut without, having the limitations of cartridges. So when I tell you, as soon as I got into it, like by the time I found out about it, I went and, I got the stuff, whatever, got those programs. ProvoCraft at the time, that's what Cricut was called, sued them because they were allowing people to use their machines outside of the scope that they designed them for. They're losing money on people buying cartridges. So they sued them. And of course, when they won, they did a firmware update. And when they did that, when you did the firmware update, this was before I knew to stay away from firmware updates. When you did that, it made it to where you could not use shortcuts a lot or make the cut. Well, I was loving the freedom of being able to design, and they snatched it away. So I went on a hunt for something else. And at first I was about to get the Eclipse. It was called Eclipse machine. And, being the old lady that I was at the young age of like 20 something, but I was basically an old lady at heart, I spent a lot of time on QVC and Home Shopping Network and, the late night infomercials and stuff. And here comes this, this broadcast, and they were demonstrating the silhouette. I was like, oh, this look interesting. Oh, wait, you got you don't need cartridges? Wait a minute, hold up. Tell me more. So I end up exploring it. I got it. And I was still doing a lot of stuff by hand. I was still doing certain things in Word. By then I had, I made the mistake of buying Photoshop's Element. I spent all that money buying Photoshop's Elements because I could not create stuff myself. I even had, there was this art pack, and it was this book that I had. Mommy, if you're still on, I don't know if you remember that book. It had 30, I don't forget how many it was. It's this big Elements thing and different icons and stuff like that. I had 30 some odd CDs, and you would put different ones for different images and stuff. So that's how I was designing. I wasn't really creating myself. I would pull from, these CDs that I had. I will pull those into Word and different places and just kind of design. So here they are. They're showing me some stuff oh, you can do this, you can do that, you can open, you can change it. You can wait a minute, you can do all of that with the cutting machine. Wait a minute. So I ended up getting it. It was a little while before I really dived into it. And then once I got, by that time, I did have Photoshop and Illustrator again. And don't get me wrong, I love my Illustrator and stuff like that, but there are certain things where it can be a little bit complicated for certain things. It was not that it's it's just, they just require too many steps to do certain things. So as I'm designing, I'm wait, in Illustrator, it would have taken me way more steps to do this. This is amazing. This is self-explanatory. You don't have to, jump through hoops and give up your firstborn to be able to do this task. Wait a minute now. So I just kept using it. I'm everything that I was doing in Photoshop and Illustrator at the time, I didn't go back to CorelDRAW. I just went, because back then, and getting out of the military, all that stuff, they had the subscription, and you can just get the Creative Cloud. And no, back up. I actually did get a bootleg version of Photoshop and Illustrator first, and then they somehow blocked it and you couldn't use it or whatever. And then that's when I finally got and paid for the subscription way back when. And then I found out about the student one. I ended up changing to the student one. So I've had it for a while, but I'm doing stuff over there, and I'm man, this is it was a little bit, not say complicated, but it was just kind of, So I'm just doing more and more stuff, and I'm oh, wow, this really has a lot of the same things that you can do over here in Illustrator. And I was I'm paying these folks good money to do this for free. Because at that time, I did not have the upgrades. I did not have, no, I think I did have designer. I've always had designer edition because when I brought mine, I had the bundle for designer. But I will say, I wasn't really using it to its full capacity other than to open up SVGs and PNG, PDFs. And I was just amazed at the things that I was doing in this software that I paid good money for every single month. I was able to do it in a software that I was able to download for free. And it just went, that combined with the fact that the Cameo machine saved my hands. Because when I first got mine, I purchased the Silhouette Connect so that you can design in Illustrator and cut straight to your Cameo machine. Because again, that was a software that I was mainly using. But once I got into it, I'm like, I wasted money on the Connect because I never did anything from Illustrator straight to sending it straight to the Cameo. So it's just, it really helped my business. It helped me streamline things. I was able to get things done faster. And the more and more I use it, I just realized I just opened up more possibilities in looking at this software separate from the machine. Once I started looking at like the image effects and wait, this is the same stuff I was doing in Photoshop. Hold up now, like, wait. So it's just been a buildup, and because I had other programs to compare it to, I realized its greatness. And for those who are starting out, I was, blessed to be able to be introduced to the graphic design world from high school. Not everyone has that opportunity. I went to Barbara Goldman, state of the art school. We had, in our graphics design, the graphics design softwares. We had, and that's where I found out about that book at, because we actually had it at school. And I think one of my first paychecks in the military, I went and purchased that, and it was expensive as crap. But we had like dark rooms, so I learned how to develop pictures, like, from film in a dark room with the red light and all that stuff. We had a screen print machine and the big conveyor dryer. So these are all things that I had access to and exposure to at 16, 17 years old. Not everyone has that to where they can learn this, for free in school. So when I saw what this can do, and I'm hearing people say that, they don't have a lot of funds. They want to be able to kind of, create a path for themselves, start a business. They want to do graphic designing. They don't have the funds to always buy stuff. I figured, let me show you how you can do this with this free software. So I know that was pretty long, but hopefully that answered that question for you. She says, and you get a lifetime of help. Y'all better stop playing and go sign up today. Exactly. Also, you can watch it on your TV because of the stream to YouTube, and you can make it a watch list. I truly love this feature with all of the dean's courses. Yep. Okay, so I would say I usually do use templates as a guide and not use the foundation. You are a perfectionist, even on a template that people have to redo. Yes, Microsoft was my training, and you used it too. Yeah, because it was different back then. LimeWire was definitely around my time. Downloaded songs all day. So yeah, it was like because Napster got to a point where you had to pay for Napster, and LimeWire was the free version of, bootleg content. I still have files from Napster and LimeWire. Oh, y'all are telling y'all age. Um, those presets before presets were called expansion pack elements. Yep. All right. So I'm so mad because I really don't like this font. I really don't. Actually, that's not that one. That's a different font. Let me go find that one. That's not that one. Because I'm looking at the way the Y is, and that's not the same thing. Oh, I know what this one is. Actually, I'm already here. This is it this one? No, it's not that one. I thought it was this one. There we go. Boom. Yeah, see, I don't like the S on this one either. I don't like the S at all on this one. And look at all the straggly lines to it. But yeah, that's that same Y. I think on this one, let me type in her name. I probably did some editing on this one too. Uh-oh. Let's see. Okay, no, this one is as is. Okay, no, yep, that one was as is. But see, like her name, it worked well with putting with in between the J and the D. My name, that doesn't work well that way. So you would have to have the creative foresight to move certain things around and put them in a different spot. Like maybe for my name, I probably, I don't even want that on the end. Maybe I would put that on the end and make it smaller. This is actually not making me want to be able to do templates like this. It's almost like I just want to show you like how to do it because my brain is not processing this and how this is going to be efficient or effective for somebody else. Yeah, my brain is like telling me, girl, forget this. They'll be all right. I was trying, but yeah, this my brain is not allowing me to. um yeah, it really isn't allowing me to just be okay with how this looks. Oh wait, no. I already did this one. I don't know. If you missed in the beginning, I realized like for some reason, I guess I created a duplicate right on top and everything was like doubled. And then it's like with something like this, okay, I'm gonna find just a regular picture. Mm, so one like this wouldn't necessarily be like a like give you the exact same effect. So I'm gonna just send that to the back. So see, this one would work out somewhat okay because of how it's stretched. I wouldn't even have to really worry about her head here at the top. Although if I wanted to, we're going to just go like this. We're going to just so that her head can be in front of the O. I mean, this one wouldn't be so bad with this one because it's not really blocking. It actually worked out in a really good spot for this particular picture. But let's say I'm gonna see a picture I can find where it's not gonna work. Um, all right, let's see how this one works out. I guess I could make his work. I mean, his would work, where it's like it's not too bad. You would have to adjust the colors, of course, so that, you know, it's not too much of a contrast. And then his hair would be one where I would definitely have to do that. I would have to make those adjustments in Photoshop or use like a remove background situation because he got too much going on with his hair. So that would be something that I need to actually photo edit for his hair to not look like and not see the yellow behind it. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess certain pictures it works well. Senior pics. See, she is to one side. Paste. So you would have to pretty much put like everything on the other side, or you have to know that it's okay to flip it and then maybe this can stay here, but this part would have to move. So you still would have to move things around, even if you have this, because you don't know what picture you're going to get from your clients. So this works, you know, with her like that. I can even get more of her, blow this up, maybe even move her slightly over to where this would work. These can stay. So you still have to know how to work your pictures. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it works great for her name, but not mine. But when people are getting a lot of times some, and I know it's not everyone. Again, when I'm making certain statements, I'm not saying that this is the case for everyone, but for the majority of what I come across and like the posts and things that I come across, it seems like a lot of people use templates, and whatever the creator suggested as the font, they're sticking with that, and they're not considering that someone's name may not look right with that particular font. So then I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, why is there a name like that? Like they don't, it can be a hindrance to where you don't allow yourself to think for yourself creatively. And she has enough space on her picture to where I could have gone like this. And then, of course, you also can make it a solid color background, or even gave it a pattern background, and then just put someone's picture there. File, merge. I'm gonna wrap this up. I did all this. I'm gonna put it out. I really don't want to, because now I'm like, shoot, I don't know how they're gonna use it, but it's gonna be a free download. That's I'm doing it because if you go to our Academy site, I'm gonna have the link for it. It's gonna be a free download on straight on the Academy site, because I don't feel like going through all the stuff I have to do to put it on the regular website. So it's gonna be a free download on the. But it's almost like you're signing up, and it's going to be kind of like intercourse, but it's, I don't have to worry about thumbnails and all this. I'm just going to put it on the Academy site. It's going to go in the template vault, but it'll go on the regular site just for anyone who wants to use it. Well, why my picture's not coming up? Because I need to see who's who. I don't even know who this is. I just need to. Oh, okay. Oh no, that's a Prego. We don't want her. Oh, I could have. I mean, this could have been new mom life. File, merge. It's not showing me the thumbnails of my stuff here. Okay, let's see what this one is. Okay, not really a senior, but like you could have had it like, I mean, not really a great representation, but send to the back. No, I said send to the back. Where that's there, actually I'm going to send all of this to the back. So, and then you can move stuff around. So it just really depend. Like I said, it really does depend on what what image you have to work with. And then you just have to move stuff around. So now that I've put different pictures in here, I think I should have done that before, because now it's making me to where I don't think I will stress about it, because y'all still got to do the work. So this right here is going to be something that you cannot change. It's going to be static. The Senior Life is static. I'll put a placeholder here for the name of the school. So we're going to put 365 Creative Academy. And I think I'm going to make everything 365 colors. Just actually, no, probably 360. Yeah, 365 Creative Academy colors. So yeah, I'm just going to leave this pretty much like this, to where you have, I'll put the original inspiration picture, like it'll just be flattened as a JPEG, so that you can kind of see and draw inspiration for the pictures that you use. But I think, yeah, I'm glad I did that, where I put the different pictures in, because now I can chill the hell out and not stress over it, because I would have been stressing over. This is another reason why I don't do templates. I'm too much of a perfectionist. I will stress over it. Something that if I'm doing it for myself, I would have had this done. But now that I'm thinking about it, like, how can I make this universal? How can I make it where it's easy to use? I start to overthink on it. So I don't like making templates. True, very true. She definitely was a senior. Very true. That is true. That is a lot of work. It is. It can really be a lot of work. And to me, I really think that is also a good sign of someone when they're creating a template, where they're not just creating it and it worked for them that one time. Do you go in and you see how other pictures will interact, like, just as, like, again, as additional placeholders, thinking about how other people are going to use it, what other names will be used in this font before we say, hey, this is the perfect font for this, but it may not be. So I do often do that as well, like where I'm trying out different things for certain design ones to see how it's going to work, which is why I end up with 30,000 fonts and just seeing certain things like that. But that is a good, like, that is a good trait and a good thing to, like, if that's naturally like who you are when it comes to making templates, because you are thinking about the actual user. If you're selling it and you're making it as a template to sell to others, you have to think about how they're going to use it. And because I think like that, it makes it a little bit harder for me to, not stress out over templates. So yeah, I think that I'm going to go into this to where I'm going to change out colors. I'm going to make it our brand colors. But this is basically, when you guys get it, it's the fonts won't be there because you may not have those. I will look for the fonts that I use. Hopefully I can find them and leave links to them, or at least just put the names of each of the fonts that I use for you to be able to go and find them. Yeah, I'll finalize it and I'll probably have it up tomorrow or Sunday. Yeah, and it's in the eye of the designer. And my audience, I want people to follow me who do have a desire to become some sort of designer. You don't have to know how to create everything. You can have one design that you do really, really well, and that's your signature, and you don't have to deviate from that. I'm not an instructor that tells you that you have to know how to design everything, every type of design, that you have to create 30,000 designs to be relevant and to actually make money. You can literally make money off of one design and maybe just how you alter it or change it, and then that's it. But I know some people, like I said, we had the whole debate. I heard you guys. I went back. I was going through reading comments. I listened to the most of the 4 hours back. I heard my tone in it, and I still was okay with the passion behind it. Reading certain comments where, it was triggering for certain things and anxiety, but then that took me into a different headspace. I don't want people to feel a certain way. I'm not trying to trigger someone's anxiety. So yeah, it was triggering for me to go back and listen to it, because now I'm over analyzing everything that happened there, but I'm also looking at the comments, and I wrote down so many things. That's why I decided to at least do these two as templates that you guys can use, because I heard you. Trust me, I hear you. I heard you. And I know that you guys want to be able to create some things and out the gate, just make it beautiful to where you are proud of it. But I want you guys to be proud of what you do, no matter what it is. Everyone has a starting point. I can look at the stuff that I've done now, and because I have growth, I look at that and I'd be like, oh, what the heck? But when I created Child Plus, I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. I thought I was doing the darn thing, because I did 2 colors for her name. I got the vinyl to stick to glitter cardstock by using my little techniques with my heat gun. So to me, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing. But now through growth, I'm not ashamed of it, but I'm able to see my growth and where I started and where I am at now, and still just be proud of the journey, and that I did not give up. I was persistent. I kept practicing to where what I created in 2015 or what I create now in 2023 does not still look like what I created in 2015, and I can see the growth. And that's what I want you guys to focus on more so than anything, is just your growth in your creativity. Do not feel intimidated by everything that you see. If you find that you are becoming intimidated, or you're feeling less than, your confidence is dropping because you're in all of these groups and you're seeing so much of like their content, and you're becoming envious of it, remove yourself from those groups temporarily if you have to, so that it doesn't mess with you mentally and emotionally, because it's making you feel inadequate. You are the best version of you at the level that you are on right now. If you are just starting your journey, if you can just simply put a name, if you know how to add text, click on something and add text and change the color. You are great in that skill. If it's just that, hey, my skill is I can type out this name and I can easily add colors. Hey, that's the scope of what I do. Know that you are great in that. You are incredible in that. And you don't have to be to where you're doing all of this stuff next week in order to, keep up with the Joneses or to be able to make money. Live and appreciate, give yourself grace, be proud of where you are now, because there's a lot of people who are afraid to even start. They're afraid to even make the attempt. So if you have purchased the class, if you have purchased the program, if you have opened up the program, if you've attempted to trace something, attempted to crop something, combine some elements together, be proud of yourself, give yourself a pat on the back, and just say to yourself, I did it, I can do it, which is why the discount code for it was I Can Design. You can design. It is within you. If you have the desire to it, you will be able to do it. And you don't have to design like me. You don't have to design like the next person. You have to design like you, and find an audience that's going to want your vision and who appreciates your vision and willing to pay for your vision. All right. So I am going to hop off of here so I can finalize this. I'm probably going to go. Ooh, look, I now have water. I don't have to crunch in your ears. So had I had this in my stainless steel tumbler, it'll still be ice, like hard ice, not melted at all. But because it was in my Wawa's cup, I now have water. Yay for me. That's great advice. You are welcome, and thank you for that. I love this design. Thank you. But you'll be able to go to learn.365 Creative Academy at some point tomorrow or Sunday, probably tomorrow because Sunday is Easter. And I will post, of course, on my social media platforms and stuff for you guys to go on there. It'll just be a free download for you to play around with it, and yeah, start your creative journey. Again, don't forget that if we get 365 new enrollees between now and Sunday, I will send the link out to everyone who is enrolled, who has been enrolled from March of 2022 until April 9th, 2023. And you will get the link to attend the live Zoom sessions for the grad design camp. And just kind of going over some small things when it comes to fans. And a lot of it's going to be based off of the templates that I have, and just kind of showing you that. I'm not going to be creating a lot of stuff from scratch. It's just showing you that. We're going to go through some assembly stuff for like fans and where you can ask questions. I'm going to go through pressing a stole within that. So it's going to be just, it's actually more of a grad camp within just like grad design camp. So grad season camp for creative entrepreneurs. If you decide that, hey, I don't want to do a 30-day training, you can still attend the camp. You're just going to have to pay full price for it. But if you sign up for this, you are basically getting access to something that's going to be valued way more than that for just $365. So we just got to reach that goal of 365 new enrollees by Sunday. So I'm doing my part. I'm posting it everywhere. I got an ad that I'm supposed to run, but I probably, there's enough people in my group where I shouldn't really have to, but I'm going to do some stuff. So you guys post it, share it out. I'm posting it over and over and over again, especially within my groups. And again, if we get that 365 enrollees by Sunday, you guys will get access to that. Those who enroll. If you enroll on the 10th, you do not get access to the grad training. You can purchase it, but you don't get access to it. Okay. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.